So this video is for the Endurance laser guys. This is my firmware that I've modified. As you can see, we've got our stats. Here's our tech cooling, fan, I guess tech power percentage, and temperature. I just have a basic thermistor here and another crummy little one here. So this is the bed, and this is plugged into the extruder there. So we're using 2 of the thermistor ports out of the 3, T0 and T1. And then we have here, I'm using digital input 11. You can change that in the ports, ports.h. And then it's simulating the key. Basically it's on the 12 volts here. We've got a voltage divider, and then the signal is on the 5 volts. So then when we push this, laser disarmed, and we push the key, and we get an unlock logo, and the stat changes. But our laser's still off and will not fire. Oh, it will fire now, but it will not fire if the laser is disarmed. So then we can go into our settings. We have our info screen, which is where we were. We have control, settings, custom commands, which you can, it's a little tedious, but you can go in and create your own and put your own G code from in there. Print from SD, so then you just load some G code onto an SD card, and then you can run it, so you don't need to have a laptop to run this setup, which is very nice, which is why I'm going through this and not using Gerbil. I know Gerbil would be a lot better for laser and CNC, but no one seems to have this graphical interface for it. They have the small one, so I have that in the mail, and I'll be looking and seeing how much better Gerbil is compared to this. But in the meantime, I thought this was going to be a fun little project, and it has been. So here we go. And then we have About Laser. So let's start in this menu. We have our About, we have go back to Main, and we have our firmware information. I'm calling this Laser Shark. I'm going to be updating the release to, when I give it to you, to actually be alpha. Right now it's still beta, as you can see. The date today, what it's based on, and compiled by me, Buzzkill. My name is also Daniel, if you want to know. Funny little logo, just something quick that I threw away, threw together. Our laser info, we have your logo, guys. Class 4 laser diode, 10 watts plus is the model, with tech cooler, and then the input 12 volt DC, 120 watts, because I'm sorry, but that 8 amp power supply you sent with this was not enough. Definitely needs 2 of those. So kind of disappointed that I only got 1 of those in that kit, along with the other stuff. That was kind of disappointing, but never mind. 3.3 to 12 volt TTL, so that's nice to see. And then your website. I don't know if you want this one or if you want the www. This one fits a lot nicer, so I kept that one. And there was more information on that website, even though it's messier as hell. Your store is a lot nicer, but way less information. And this website is like, it is a disaster and like a horror to try to navigate and find information. You have so much conflicting information on this website. Please, 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 please clean that up and try to come up with some like nice instructions. And like, your instructions are all really hand drawn and just, I don't know, it'd be nice. They're just, everything seems to be everywhere. Then we have our board info, which is just basic. I didn't go through much info on that. Right now I'm using an MKS Gen V 1.4, because my smaller ramps, I mean, all these Chinese shitty knockoffs they're just terrible. I mean, I ran it on this, but then it blew up one of my fucking things, one of my Arduinos, because it has, you can't see it, but this capacitor is chipped, and you didn't even see it because it was hidden behind the other one. So it was fine for a while, and then I just tapped it and it went. So highly don't recommend these, especially from whoever the fuck made this one. I mean, all it did was blow the 5-volt reg, so it's easy to fix, but most people wouldn't know how to do that. And we got our thermistor information, which is again just basic, but we can go through here where we've got our laser, and I've started to do our min max temps. I haven't done anything with that in warnings yet, but I will be doing that after I finish this video. So laser min temp 15, max 35, which I figured was good, and then the tech, the hot side of the tech, min temp 15 and max temp 15, 5. Yeah. Now we have, go back to our main, we have our custom commands. Right now I've got tech off, and then as well as laser. Very simple. In our settings, we have motion control, just like any other stuff, so we can change our velocities. We can change our acceleration on our 3 axes. And our jerk. As well as our, end stop abort. We can turn that on and off, so we can turn off whether or not the end stops. If we hit an end stop, it stops a print. Again, steps, we can adjust that. All these settings, they're nice to be able to be accessible here, but the second you reset the printer, they go back to stock. So it's only useful for fine-tuning, and then you have to plug into the computer and reflash. That's just, I guess, how Marlin is, and not my fault. Okay, so then basic controls is now we have our laser power here, where you can see we can set it, but nothing happens. No, this is the output here, so this LED should turn on, but nothing happens, even though we have 35%, but because our laser is disarmed, no output. Second we push arm though, if we come over here and push our button, laser fires, and we get our warning and our logo changes. Now, I would like to have it that if it was powered on and then you go to arm it, that there was a warning, because you could maybe forget that it's on 35 and you go to arm it and then the laser's on and you hurt your eyes. So that might be a safety issue that we want to adjust, but for now, proof of concept, it's very cool. Again, controls, so we can turn our max power, we can move our axes, so just for basic controls, move 10s and 1s, same with all the other axes. Turn software end stops on and off, so you can set your max and mins in software, again flashing it, and then it will stop before it even hits your end stops or wherever you want to set your bed. Auto home, and then your temperature, so this is where we can turn on our tech cooler. So this will turn on because there's no safety. So I've got this on the big MOSFET here because it's power out. It can handle up to, I think, easily 15 amps, but 10 amps, 5 amps will be nothing. So we turn that on, and then we get power out. So now we go back to our main info screen, and we can see our tech power is at 100% and on. So it's kind of cool. We got animation there. I just stole the Marlin one for that. Just moved her over. Our laser's still off, so if we go to custom commands, we can turn our laser off just to see what the other settings are. So off, the laser disarms. we can arm it. And now laser armed, unlocked, but still off. And because I only have one hand, basically you saw that already, that we then turn it on and it's armed, firing. So that's kind of it. Yeah, hope you guys like, and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.